What's going on, guys? It's finally here. The wait is over. The Unio guides are finally here. Welcome back to another character guide in my tutorial series. Today we're going to be going over the Unio characters, finally. I know that I promised you guys a long time ago that I was going to be doing it, but I was waiting for all 4 Ruby characters to be out. But now that they're finally out, we can move on to the other franchises in the game. So we're going to be moving on to the Under Night and Birth characters, first starting off with Hyde, which is the main character of that game. So let's get into it. Before that, though, I do want to go over something important that in regards to the tutorials. I did change up the format quite a bit. As you can see, the video is significantly shorter, and because of that, I don't know whether you guys will like this or not. I know a lot of people like the long formula, but I do want to cut out as much filler as possible so I can get right to the point so you guys can learn as easy and efficiently as possible. But in this video, I tried to get it as efficiently as possible, trying to cut out all the filler, like I said, and that's about it. So let me know what you guys think of this new formula, the little shorter formula, so I can bang these out really quickly and to get them out as fast as possible. Anyways, guys, enjoy the guide. Hopefully you guys get to pick up Hyde. If you do end up picking Hyde, you made a good choice because he's a good character. Enjoy the guide, guys. Welcome back to the lab, everybody. We are back with another guide. This is, of course, Hyde. It's finally here. I know that's been a long time since I made the last one, or the promise that I'm going to make the unique character guides. But here we are with him. And Hyde is going to be the first character, of course. So with every guide, let's start off with what they have for their assists. So they have, Hyde has his 4P, which is an explosion or Dark Lotus explosion, which is a defensive assist that can also be used as a launcher as well. There is his 5P, which is his double hitting, lunging, combo extending assist. I know it's kind of a long name, but for the most part, this can be used very, very nicely with lockdown because it has 2 hits and has a pretty decent amount of block stun, and also for just combo extensions in general. And there's also his projectile assist, or his 6P, which is super good because it has multiple hitting properties, plus, and it goes through other different types of projectiles. I've seen it go through S's projectiles. I've seen it go through multiple projectiles. All right, so it's really good assist, actually. Overall, I think his assist game is not too bad, but it's not anything amazing either. Nothing too. It's very average, but at the same time, it gets the job done. And the only thing that I really like about Hyde's assists is that it's very versatile because you can do a 5P to do a double hitting launcher, which can be used as a combo extender, like I said, or you could use it as just a lockdown tool because it has 2 hits, just like that. So pretty good for both purposes. And there's also his projectile assist, which is incredibly strong. Like I said, it goes through projectiles and such, and it's very, very good. So it's good for you to build up your resonance level. Next up, let's take a look at his normals, and his normals are really good, especially his 5A. Let's start off with that. His 5A is really good because it has a really good range, and not just that, it's pretty fast, actually. It's not exactly super fast, but it's not slow either, so it's really, really good. It does hit a little bit lower, so which means that I think you can jump out of this. Once you jump out of it, it whiffs, I'm pretty sure, and I have had some circumstances where people with having universal overhead that jump are able to just jump over this normal completely. But it's a pretty decent normal nonetheless. So very good. And there's also his 5B, and his 5B is probably going to be the main tool you're going to be using in terms of when you do your combo starters or when you punish them, or your main neutral tool, which for whiff punishing and all that stuff. 5B, incredibly good. It has really good range, and it does a pretty decent chunk of damage as well. All right, let's move on to his crouching normal. So we have 2A, which is a Gatling low. It's really, really good, and you can kind of switch off between 5A, 2A, just like that. So very, very good. Low for you to poke them out and make sure that they're blocking the right way. We have next up we have our 2B, which is his main anti-air, and it's so good too. His 2B is one of the best anti-airs in the game because look how far that reaches up to the sky. Very, very good. And his anti-air game is probably one of the best in the game just because of this button right here. There's really no need for you to jump at Hyde when he has that button. It has head invul, and it just reaches up to the sky. It's like the size of a skyscraper, really. So very good. And with the addition of reverse beating, which we'll go over later, makes his anti-air game super, super good. So 2B, incredibly strong. All right, so there's that. There's also his sweep. And his sweep is pretty decent. Doesn't have like the biggest of range compared to the rest of his arsenal that he has. But it's a pretty decent sweep that gets the job done. Not too bad. There's also his 5C, which is like just like any of the other uni characters. It's a jumping type of universal overhead that is safe on block, but it's very slow on startup. So you can block this pretty easily or even just reversal it as well. So yeah, that's his crouching normals. Let's go over his jumping normals here real quick. We have JA, which has a really good horizontal hitbox. Not horizontal, I'm sorry, vertical hitbox. It's really good for jump-ins. But if you want to jump in, you want to use JB, which is probably one of the best jump-ins in the game, if not the best. Because this thing hits all around him. It has a circular hitbox that hits behind him and in front of him. Super good and hits multiple times as well. So sometimes you can catch your opponent blocking the first hit but not block the second hit. I've had it happen before. It's super, super good. You can cross up. It's very, very strong. You should use that for jumping in on your opponent for sure. All right, and there's also his JC, which used to be a special move in his, in his game, but now they gave it to him and a dedicated button. However, it is not special cancelable, but you can link into it into your Rekkas, which we're going to be going over later on. But his JC, pretty good for faking out like anti-airs, like if you want to jump at them and just all of a sudden bring it out, all of a sudden just surprise them with a JC that catches them off guard, and then you can continue on with your assist by pressuring and such. So pretty interesting normal that you can get some shenanigans going. Next up, let's go over his special moves. So we have his projectile, which is quarter circle forward A. We have a faster version of that projectile, quarter circle forward B. And then his EX quarter circle forward, which is his EX projectile. And that one's really, really strong because it does multiple hits. Plus, if you do get hit by it, you get raw damage, which means that you do not get recoverable health if you get hit by this move. So really, really good. Now, all these projectiles are very strong, but they do have a catch. They are not a catch. They do have something else to them. They also can have follow-ups. So if you do any of the projectiles, which is whether it be A or B, if you press quarter circle forward A again, you get this explosion, which is a little bit of a follow-up, which can be really good for a couple things for you to zone, throw out a few lone projectiles, and then once in a while you can blow it up. And you can blow this up whether it's on hit or if it's on whiff. Either or. And also it's very, very good for like conversions and such. I couldn't get it that time, but anyways, you can use your assist to kind of convert off of that, run up and do all that good stuff. And there's also his quarter circle forward B follow-up, which is if you throw any other projectiles and press quarter circle forward B, he does this lunging attack, or he goes up to and follows up, which can be really good for conversions like that. So very, very good. You cannot do this with the C version, by the way, or the EX version, unfortunately. Now let's go over his quarter circle back move, which is his Rekka. Pretty good. It's probably going to be one of your main combo tools for you to do that into an assist. So very, very good. It's good for, in its own way, it can be pretty good for pressure because you can delay the Rekka like that. You can do that, or you can do just rapid fire. Either or, pretty good. There's this B version, which goes a little bit higher up in the air and does more damage as well. And there's a C version, which by itself, you don't even have to press anything else, but it just does a ton of hits and some really good damage. Really, really good damage. And it's the same as the EX version of the projectile. It does raw damage. So pretty good. And you can actually use this to kind of switch in your other character like this because it has a lot of block stun. I mean, not block stun, hit stun. So there's a lot of animation, so you can do whatever you want, like put in your different character and such. So pretty good, pretty good. Other than that, he really doesn't have any other special moves, but he can do the Rekkas in the air. Just like that. He can do all versions of the Rekkas in the air. So even the EX one. So that's going to be your main tool for finishing combos in the air, really. Now let's go over his distortions very quick. He only has two of them. He has his Gyro Vortex, which is his most damaging distortion. So if you want to go for raw damage or just for damaging, the most damaging combo, you want to go for that one. Or you go for this one right here. But this one has the most utilization of the two. Let me tell you why. Because this one can go through projectiles. So if you are playing against a character that has really good projectiles, aka New 13, Jin, anybody really, S maybe. If they throw a projectile at them, all you have to do is do this right here, and it goes practically full screen. So if they start zoning you out, you can just go like this, and you can take them to the corner, and now you're up close to them. So it's a very good special distortion for you to use whenever you're getting zoned out against Hyde. But for the most part, you know, you have your own zoning tool. So now that we've gone over everything with Hyde, including special moves and normals, let's go over his smart combos, because he has some really decent smart combos as well. There's his 5A smart combo right here. I mean, it's okay. It does very little damage compared to the rest of the cast, but the buttons and the normals behind that smart combo are very good, including that one right there, which launches them up in the air, which you can do combos like that. So that's very good for that purpose. And there's also his 5B auto combo, which is really good because it has a lot of range. And this is probably the auto combo you're going to be using the most, because not only it's used two ways, all right? So if you do hit him with this, it is special cancelable, so you can do your Rekkas. Or if you block them, the second hit of this string or this smart combo pushes him back way far away. So it's not possible for you to punish after you do this right here. So if you recognize that he's blocking, so let me set the dummy to block here. So if you're blocking, look at the range that it puts you at. Plus, it also puts you in range for the third hit of the smart combo, which is this one right here. And then you can do some like pressure like that, something like that. So this is probably primarily the smart combo you're going to be doing the most, all right? So there's that. Now that we went over everything, his smart combos, his normals, his special moves, everything like that, let's go over how to utilize all this together and put it, you know, how do you take all this and put it together for you to become a Hyde main or a prominent Hyde main, okay? So let me tell you a few things about Hyde, okay? Because he's a unique character, I think I went over this before, but I'll say it again. He's a unique character, which means that he can reverse beat. If you don't know what reverse beat is, I'm going to link in the description below an FAQ on what reverse beating is. But because of this reverse beat, all of his tools are used extremely well. Everything gets amplified, including his pressure game, his anti-air game, his combo game. Everything is super good because of this, okay? So he benefits from that a lot. So for example, his pressure is really, really good because you have a very large normal that also does a lot of pushback as well. Because of the reverse beating, how it works, you can cancel into 2A and you can just keep going with it and keep pressuring like that. And because he has such large normals, why this is so good, you can do this over and over. Pressuring with Hyde is incredibly important because all of his normals, or the normals with his sword, all the normals with his sword involved, so all the auto combos with all of that involved, do chip damage. So overall, that's going to add up quite a bit. So let me actually have it not regenerate. Default right there. Look at the damage that you can do just by doing 5B, 2A to cancel out the animation of the 5B, just like that. And then you can just keep going like that. So it's very, very good in that regard. So his pressure game all of a sudden gets increased like a lot. You can also include like more normals in there, just like that. Look at all the chip damage that I've done just by pressuring. And because, like I said before, his 5B has a lot of pushback, it has you like out of range for any of their normals. There's really no normal other than maybe New 13, which has a dagger as a normal that goes practically full screen. There's really no normal in the game that can reach Hyde from that position there, just like that. It's very, very good for pressuring as well. So there's that. All right, so let's talk about his anti-air game briefly real quick and why I think it's so good. I keep talking up about it and why I think reverse beating and anti-air go so well together. Let me tell you why just real quick, okay? Because when you put those together, he is a fortress pretty much because of his crazy 2B normal that he has. It has such a crazy vertical range that he hardly becomes like, he can be a character you can't jump at because his anti-air game is so strong. So as the Jin player, or as a Jin player, you are able to just jump in and do some damage. It's pretty normal for any character or any player to do that. So with Hyde, because of this, he is able to kind of completely anti-air and shut it down, all right? And even if they do end up blocking the anti-air because there's no air unblockable moves in this game, you are actually at an advantage when you incorporate reverse beating. So for example, if Jin decides to jump at us and then guard, just like that, you see the recovery frames or the the lag at when he does a 2B and it's blocked. So to cancel out of that completely, you just do a 2A and that's that. And you are able to block the incoming mix-up once they block your normal. And sometimes you can even challenge them as soon as they hit the ground after blocking the anti-air. Or, blocking the anti-air. So there's little things like that it can be really step up your game. So the anti-air game for Hyde is super strong. Overall, he's a very solid Shoto character with projectiles, with reversals, with great anti-airs, great normals, good damage, chip damage, at reverse beating. You say it. This character has it all, really. The only thing he really doesn't have is a projectile super to do some crazy chip damage and resonance blaze. But overall, very, very strong. If you're thinking about picking up this character, you made a great decision because he's very, very strong with his pressure, with his chip damage, with his reverse beating, his combos, his synergy with a lot of characters is very great because this character is very versatile with different assists and such. So you can really make something work with every character because his assist game is super good as well, and just very strong character. You're going to be throwing projectiles from full screen, really, making them blow up as well for extra chip damage, using your assist to come in and having you a cover option for your approach. And then once you're in, you want to try to make them push block you and try to get some chip damage as much as possible until eventually you will get that hit. And don't forget that Hyde also has one of the best jump-ins in the game using this one, and it also does chip damage, so very, very strong. Don't forget to practice your reverse beat damage, your jump-ins, everything like that, and you'll do real well with him. Now this is the section of the video that I kind of wanted to change just because I didn't want to waste too much time going in game and actually going through all the characters that go really well with the character that I'm doing the guide on. So I'm just going to be telling you guys right here and showing you guys on screen so you guys can take those characters if you guys want and kind of start experimenting with those characters, okay? But I still want to give you guys all the recommendations and all that good stuff. There's quite a few characters that go well along with Hyde. In fact, Hyde is such a good character in this game because he doesn't really have to rely on anybody, and he does really well on his own, and he has really good assists. He goes good with anybody. And the last character I said that with was Ruby, and Ruby goes really well with anybody, really. Same thing with Hyde. Maybe there's a team or two that don't go really well with Hyde. I don't know. But characters, if you really want to get some good synergy going, characters like Ruby, New 13S with some really good projectile assists to cover his approach, or if you want to go with a lockdown per se with Gordeau, Carmine, Blake, with those characters you can lock down really easily so you can get some really cool shenanigans from back and forth or get some 50-50s going on with overhead or low. So those characters are very, very strong with Hyde. I think all of these can do extremely well and you can spawn very good teams and very good W's. You know, get the W with all these characters. So all right, guys, and that pretty much does it for me. Now I'm going to be shortening up these guides just a little bit to get straight and quick to the point so we can get into these guides a lot quicker, so I can pump these out a lot faster and give you guys some guides and tutorials as to how these characters work. Now I think I'm going to be cutting out the combo section of every video just because it does take a long time for me to think of combos and think of different characters that go with the combos. So instead, for the combos, if you guys want, I'm going to be linking the Discord in the description down below. There's a Discord. If you guys don't know what Discord is, get yourself accustomed to Discord because it's extremely good for you to learn any fighting games, really. To the BB Tag Discord, and it'll give you a direct link to all the guides and combos and such that you can look up for your character, for your specific character. So I suggest you go over there in the description down below and look up some combos for you to practice with, because they're really not that tough in this game, so you don't really need any visual aid unless it's a really, really tough combo. So anyways, thank you all for watching once again. This has been the Hyde guide. Let me know what you guys think of this format over the ones that I was doing before. Before I was doing it super long, going over every single detail. Some of them may have been a little bit unnecessary, so I'm trying to cut out as much unnecessary filler as I can from these guides and try and get quick and easy to the point. Anyways, like I said before, thank you all for watching the video. If you guys need me to do any other guides on any other characters, let me know in the comment section down below. We're going to be doing all the unique characters, so I might go over I might go out of chronological order. Normally it would be Lin that would be next, But I'm thinking of maybe going out of the way and going with other characters, maybe like Gordeau, Aurier, Waldstein, all those characters. It all depends on what I really want to do and what I want to show and teach you guys. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you guys clicking on the video. If you guys did learn something new, let me know in the comment section down below. Give it a like if you guys like these guides. Subscribe to the channel for more of these BB tag guides. Follow me on Twitter for anything that has to do with me or the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.